Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
And hello and welcome to an extra special episode where I'm talking to Duncan Young, Ian Fraser and Allan Murrell from IPMS Hamilton, talking about HeritageCon, the model show that is coming up very soon. And with me now is a special event. I've got Allan, Duncan and Ian. I should do your full name, shouldn't I? I'll start again. Allan Murrell, Duncan Young and Ian Fraser from IPMS Hamilton, here to talk about some exciting news about HeritageCon. G'day, gentlemen. How are you?
G'day, David. Good. We're good. How are you keeping?
Very well, thank you. So, what's happening with HeritageCon? Tell us all about it.
Okay, so after a 2-year lull due to COVID, as we all know, HeritageCon is returning on the 27th of March 2022 at our great museum, the Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum in Hamilton, Ontario in Canada, and we're all looking forward to it.
And I've been to that Heritage Museum, and it is the only place in North or South America, for that matter, that you can actually see a flying example of a Lancaster, apart from the one that's over in the Battle of Britain flight over in the UK.
That's right.
That's correct.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a fantastic museum. And even if you don't go there just for the model contest, which, by the way, you should because they're all modelers, just having a sniff around, looking at all the great exhibits there, it's just a fantastic museum. And it's all up close too. There's nothing behind a velvet rope, so you can pretty much go up and caress the aircraft and get as close as you want. There's one wonderful place. And I believe they have a lot of flying programs during summer as well, don't they?
That's correct. Yeah. In fact, you can fly on the Lancaster. It's the only place in the world you can fly on the Lancaster, because you can't fly on the one in the UK unless you're military. So.
Oh, okay. So you can actually pay for a seat on that one.
You can. Yes, you can. Don't ask how much.
So
take it out of the kids' college fund, and you'll be all right.
Yeah. One of the things that's get back to HeritageCon. One of the things that's interesting is our timing.
Yep.
March is what they refer to as a deep maintenance cycle for the museum. Most of the aircraft aren't flying during the winter, so they're undergoing maintenance. So if you want to see what's underneath cowlings and behind panels, especially of the Lancaster and the Tracker and some of the other aircraft, you can actually see them because they're working on them right there in front of you.
Yeah, fantastic and awesome. So, HeritageCon, what is it? Where is it? How do people get there? What can they bring? Tell us the whole spiel, gents.
Hey, Ian, I'll let you do that one.
Okay. Well, HeritageCon is a joint venture between Canadian Warplane Heritage and IPMS Hamilton. We're a fundraising event for the museum. Most of the proceeds from the show go towards the museum to cover its daily operations. So it's really good. The museum actually is nice enough to host us for our monthly meetings when we have in-person meetings. So we actually have meetings underneath the Lancaster. So we're there all the time.
Wow.
Which is fantastic. So for them allowing us to do that, we run a show for them to make some money, to keep the airplanes flying, and it works out really well. It's been a really great collaboration between our two organizations, and we're hoping to keep it going for a long time.
Fantastic. And so the local chapter of IPMS is the Hamilton chapter, is that correct?
IPMS
Hamilton.
IPMS Hamilton, there you go, got it right. And, of course, you might have heard of IPMS Hamilton before because they've had a little bit to do with the Moosaroo Cup.
Oh, yeah. That thing, yes.
we're glad to be the sponsor of that for all the podcasts. And, in fact, I heard you last week mention about the next chapter of the Moosaroo, and David, we will sponsor you again for the worldwide global chapter in Musaru.
Oh, that's fantastic. Of course, you got another podcast you got to add in there too now, the Sprue Cutters Union. Chris
That's right,
and Chris Meddings and oh my God, I just had a mental blank.
Will Patterson.
Will Patterson, and
Will Patterson,
they were gutted that they missed out on this year's one, but it'll be definitely interesting to have them in on the next one coming up this year. So it'd be really cool.
I know Chris quite well, and Chris actually contacted me straight away and asked if he could come join it, but it was after we sent the stuff out. So I just get involved next time round.
Yeah. Chris is a bit of a competitive chap, so
yes.
So how many models are you guys expecting to see front ups for this competition? Because it's been quite a while since you've been able to host one now, so I reckon there's a bit of pent up desire in the modelling circles in Canada to actually get out and show what they've been building the last couple of years.
Well,
go ahead.
We're expecting a lot, but unfortunately, we don't have a really good idea because there's still a bit of reluctance of people to actually come to a public event. So we're not exactly sure, but we're hoping to at least make our numbers from the last show, which was over 600 entries. That's not models on the table. That was entries. And unfortunately, we're looking at it that we might have an issue with the number of people with that pent-up energy. So we've initially restricted the number of entries to 5 per entrant. And we'll see how that goes and see how the respondents react and see how quickly our space fills up. But unfortunately, we have to do some restrictions and some compensation for this damn COVID thing. But it's the reality, and we're trying to deal with it.
What we're going to do, we've actually got online registration so we can try and keep a track of how many entries we have. Because if we get to the point where we haven't got the space, we have to cut off entries. So we're doing that online prior to the show. So at least we have an idea of the number of models prior to the day.
That sounds like a good idea.
What I might offer is the entry form only went live, less than a week ago, and by day 4 we were already up to 70 entries. So it was once it hit Facebook and various places, the online, it was working, and people are submitting their forms and getting their registration done that way. So.
Terrific. And of course, Hamilton's a great location if you want to slip north over the border from the States as well. So it's an easy reach with a lot of the upper states.
Yeah.
We're about a half an hour from the U.S. border on the Niagara Peninsula side, Buffalo, Niagara Falls type thing. So it's fairly easy there. Little longer if you're coming in from the Detroit side. That's if you're driving. But hey, if you want to, you can actually fly into the Hamilton Airport, which is right next to the museum. So fly to Toronto and take the GO train or transit, or get a friend to drive you down. Toronto is less than 40 minutes away. So we're pretty well located, I think.
And the other thing this year is it's the museum's 50th anniversary as well. So the museum's celebrating its 50th anniversary. In fact, there'll actually be more planes available at our show this year, because they're not moving any off-site. They'll be moving off-site for the winter. But this year, all the planes are going to be in and around the museum. So there'll be a lot more to see at the show as well.
That's wonderful news. So where can people go to find out more? You must have a website, gentlemen, so read it out.
Duncan?
Sure. So there's 2 options. The easiest is just heritagecon.com. That's our dedicated page for the show. Alternatively, if you look up just Google IPMS Hamilton, and obviously IPMS Hamilton in Canada and not necessarily in the UK. We've got lots of notices and links that'll take you to the HeritageCon site there. And alternatively, look us up on Facebook. We have an IPMS Hamilton page that we use to communicate, things about our meetings. But that's also where we're regularly posting, the show flyer, any notices, any updates. And of course, one of the put the asterisks beside anything these days. And, we're in currently in Ontario, we're in a bit of a lockdown situation, or a semi-lockdown situation. We're all hoping the current Omicron wave subsides in the next month or so, and we're all back to what we had before the Christmas break. But, we will have to potentially pivot if public health restrictions don't allow us to go ahead as planned. So just that the best place to look for updates there would be our Facebook page.
No worries. Sounds like a fantastic show. If you're not doing anything, hop on a plane, drive your car, sneak across the border, do whatever you do, but certainly get over there and just get back to a competition, and perhaps all that pent-up desire you've got there, all those wonderful models you built during lockdown, just take them along to the HeritageCon model show. Gents, before we close off, it's an open mic. Airwaves are free, so if you've got anything else you want to add.
How's your Moosearoo Cup coming?
Oh, my Moosearoo Cup. It's funny because it's so frustrating. I'm competing against some really great builders from the other podcast, and I think I've finished it, and I'll take it out and I'll look at it and I go, oh, that looks crap. And I'll put it back in a box, and then I'll leave it for a couple of days and bring it out and say, oh, that looks pretty good, actually. I'll do a little bit more here or a little bit more there, and then I'll put it away again, and I'll take it out again a couple of days later and go, oh, that looks crap. I'll go through these cycles up and down. I'm almost like a manic depressive when I'm looking at the Moosearoo Cup. Yeah. So it's been a lot of fun building it, and it's makes it's great rivalry between us and all the other guys around the world, and it's actually a lot of fun. So, but being it's my build this year out of the On the Bench team, I feel a lot of pressure on my shoulders seeing we've won the last two. And I'm just wondering, you guys open the bribes?
Well, Ian's got a bit of a bone to pick here, so...
Yeah, well, see, I happen to have been driving home from work yesterday and listening to your latest podcast. I'm wondering, who the hell is this Ian Hamilton guy who's now involved?
Well,
not a good way to influence the judges.
Or was it? He got your attention.
Well, that's right.
I've been paying attention to all the builds all the way along. I'm not saying anything because I'm staying impartial, but come on here. Like, at least get the name right. It's like mispronouncing it, I can take. Okay, it happens all the time.
Well,
but,
mea culpa.
So it's going to be interesting, and
mea culpa.
And you've also alluded to Moosearoo 4 coming up.
Yeah.
Well, now I just might have to do something to make it really interesting for you now.
Well, it's probably going to be Ian's turn anyways on the next one. It'll just cycle back, right?
Yeah, correct. It's
David.
All right, it'll be an easy one then.
So I just went and looked up the time frame. You've got, based on the deadline we sent out earlier this week, you have 56 days between where we're recording this and when it's due to get your photos and stuff. So maybe, Ian, do you want to maybe run through what the content you're looking for from David?
Well, we're looking for at least a half a dozen good quality photos from all angles, showing any extra work, anything you did to impress the crack team of judges that we will be assembling to actually view this. That'll actually depend on the parole cycle in Canada as well. But anyway, we'll figure something out. But no, there's a group of guys that are ready and willing to review it impartially. They'll get copies of the photos with OT, a name on it, and they'll have to decide which is the one they like the best. They'll use whatever modeling judging system they choose, whether it's AMP Styles, IPMS, Ouija board, whatever. It's up to them. And then we'll see who comes up on top.
Well, there you go. It's not too late still to wire you a couple of $100 Canadian.
Oh well, we have a number of categories still open for sponsorship. at Heritage
There you
Con.
go.
That is a very easy way of,
That is an easy one.
yeah.
There are ways to influence us indirectly, but trick is it doesn't come to me. That's the problem. So
As the treasurer, I'll happily accept e-transfers in all funds. So.
I think it's going to be interesting, Becky, with Mr. Skiffins' paint work he's been doing. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have. It's been very interesting watching him go through. I've been tempted to sledge him, and for our American listeners, what sledging means is that you I'm trying the best way to explain it. You pretty much have a crack at somebody, and you with a bit of wink and a nudge, you're very disparaging to them. But I thought, no, I don't want to break his spirit, seeing it's the first Moosearoo Cup for him.
That's right. Got to build them up. That's good. So we enjoy sponsoring. I think it's a good global affair and keep everyone happy and smiling.
Oh, it is, absolutely. And without the fantastic support of you guys, there's no way this sort of thing could have continued to go on. So it's a lot of fun, and we're very glad that you guys are still on board with it.
Yeah, and we actually, Ian said the other day, we might actually create a cup with so we put little plaques on and keep it at the museum, so we can remember who won it each year.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, we may do that. We'll talk to you about it further.
All right, no worries. Yeah. So, gents, anything else before we sign off?
No, just carry on the great podcast, Dave, and we miss you. Hope to see you again.
Yeah, well, as soon as I'm allowed to travel, we're hoping to be back over there in 2023 in winter again, because I love the snow. So that's what we're aiming for. So we'll see how that all works out and pans out.
And fingers crossed.
Plans, if go well, you're planning to go to Omaha, is what I've heard. Yeah,
well, in fact, it's funny you should say that. We're just about ready to pull the trigger on the tickets for that. I've booked the accommodation for Omaha's already booked, but we're going Hawaii first, then Omaha, then on to Washington, and then back home. Nice. It's a bit too far just to go for a 4-day event, so we thought to stretch it out a bit.
Yeah.
It's not often that Ian gets let out of the country, or Julian for that matter, so we thought we'd take advantage of it. And Hawaii will have all the museums over there, then on to Omaha, then on to Washington, D.C. to look at the Smithsonian and a couple of other places there, and then back home. So
the Uber is awesome. David, the Uber Hazy Museum, you must do that when you're in Washington.
Yes. Funny Kentucky Dave mentioned that to me as well, and he said I've got to do that as well. So I think we've got about 3 days program for Washington, so we'll be able to fit that in.
Yeah, the Uber Hazy will take a day alone. It's probably one of the best aviation museums alongside the Air Force Museum.
Ah, terrific. Gentlemen.
So I might see you there, Dave. I booked a hotel in Omaha. So I might be
terrific. There. That'd be fantastic. Catch up with have a beer.
Yeah, so have I. So there you go.
You too, Duncan. You're coming.
Yeah, well, I when they opened up the day of, they were like going like hotcakes. So I actually only got a Thursday through Saturday. I wasn't able to get the first night. So, but then I'll make I don't know whether I'll fly, but Ian or Allan, if you want to drive 1,500 kilometers and carpool, I think.
I'll stay on driving.
And the Honourable Mr. Fraser.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make the Nats next year. I'd love to go, but I just have too many family obligations right now to take a week off like that. So, but you guys, I'm expecting it to go over just as well as every other one has. The last couple that I've attended have been fantastic. So, Kentucky Dave hasn't really underplayed it at all, actually. So it is a sight to behold.
Yeah. Really looking forward to it. And it's great to be able to catch up with you guys, because it'd be great to have a beer with you again, Allan, and Duncan, share one with you. And of course, there's always HeritageCon with you guys. If you want to catch up and meet Allan, Duncan, and Ian, you can do so. Go to their next show and have a quiet drink with them.
Yep, they're welcome.
Yeah. All right, gents, been wonderful talking to you. All the best with the show, and please keep us informed as to how it went, and share some pictures, perhaps.
Yeah, we will. I think we'll be doing a live podcast from there as well.
Ah, fantastic! That's wonderful. Looking forward to that.
Okay.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Keep it up.
The Scale Model Supply Certified Australian made, the Scale Model supply has a comprehensive range of premium acrylic lacquer paints that have been specifically developed to cater to the scale modeller. Designed to use straight from the bottle, SMS paints have taken all the guesswork out of airbrushing. Simply shake, pour and spray for a fast drying and extremely durable result. But wait, there's more. SMS have just released the new water-based range, Infinite Colour. It is the ideal paint for anyone who is into miniature painting. And with 48 colours that can be mixed to create any colour you want, the possibilities are, well, infinite. The ever-growing range of SMS paints will suit all types of model builders, be it military, aircraft, train, car, science fiction, or even Gunpla. SMS paints will have a colour to suit you. Available now through selected stockists worldwide and online at www.scalemodeller.com.au.